Welcome guys to another lovely edition of LCS Fantasy with the NA Rejects. I skipped out showing week 2, I think, and I skipped out on showing week 3, which week 3 ended up being quite good for me. So right off the bat, I did Sven and Ashe. He literally got an amazing Ashe game 1. Hui Bard did fantastic. Hombok, not half bad. Morgan was kind of a disappointment because I paid quite a bit to do Morgan. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. He actually got taken care of very well by Photon. Like, Photon had, I don't want to call it a generational series, but like he had an incredible series. Like, he was on fire, and I was just kind of like, oh shit. Of course this guy is able to do that. So it was only 13 points. I had an 11 from him, but I finally cracked over 150 for a week. So it's better. So because like the first week I only did 109, then 106, and now 157. Awesome, we did better. I don't know if week 4 is going to be the same, but that's what we're going to kind of go into now. So going into the market, scrap the whole team. Let's pull up the matchups. It's a lot easier to look at the matchups this way. Oh, okay. All right, I see. I already see what's probably going to be a preference in many ways. We're also going to do this just so it's a lot easier. Okay. And then there's one other thing I need to do. Because I didn't do research on this. And it'll probably be good just to get an overview of, unless this doesn't work. Oh, it's just taking a little bit. So I want to look at teams. I want to look at LCS. And so what I'm most curious on, I don't care about, oh, here we go. So I want to see who has the highest kills per game, right? I mean, these are the teams that are typically going to be giving you the most points. Now, I will say, if you chose Photon for Dig, you probably did pretty well. But as you can tell, it's interesting to see that Disguised is like having quite a bit of issues. Like, I didn't really pick anyone from Disguised. I think I still chose Kryra in week 2. But week 3, I decided to drop all DSG members just because after seeing them play against Fly, Call Me is starting to slip more, which is really worrying. Like, don't get me wrong, he still makes some decent plays, but like the bad plays are pretty bad. Kryra has been fine, but, and like I do account for that week against FlyQuest was kind of his own issue of the picks he chose, and then things kind of got out of hand. But like their bot lane is suffering, their top lane is like really the main thing they got going for them. So like if you want to pick Castle, by all means, but like Castle also was like pretty expensive. So DSG is starting to look kind of bad to look into. Sentinels is actually surprisingly lower kills per game despite them having some pretty scrappy like situations. Yeah, that's pretty weird. I don't think any of these other stats matter. I think literally this is the only one that I care about. It's also very interesting that Shopify is up here too. Considering, like, they're actually surprisingly high. Yeah, Disguised one's like, oh my god, that's so awful. But that's also because of some of their matches. Anyways, looking at the top lane and the matchups that we have, I am a huge fudge, don't ever pick this guy person. I think this guy just doesn't apply much pressure in the game generally. He's not really overwhelming opponents in laning phase either, so he's kind of just like dead weight. Castle is actually probably a pretty good option. Also, he is probably a pretty, like, especially for the match that he just had. Like, I know Dig is suffering, right? But, I mean, if he can do what he did again, he's probably a really good cheap option. So, like, both of them seem decent. Gakos, I don't really care. Personally, like, I still am not really too high on him. Impact, he's going against Morgan. Dude, I'm not doing that. Morgan is a really good bet. For sure. That's probably who I'm going to end up choosing. Thanatos against There's a Shopify, right? Against Fudge. It's like fine. And like he actually might be worth it, Dokla. But then he might get no, he might be worth it. But I think for sure Morgan, Photon, and Castle look like the most interesting picks. So I would say I might come back to this because these two are actually good for like bangs for the buck. And I want to see what else we got going. So Hombach is actually a good price for this week. I think Griffin could also, but the thing is, I mean, he popped off round 2. Round 3, it went a lot worse. They should play better against Dig, but Dig is also playing pretty well. I think that's one thing that's a little worrying to me is knowing that Dig is playing pretty decent, and actually eXyu is probably the best. Dude, he's only 10. And normally I would not pick him because like I don't have like a ton. He's not exactly like the best jungler by any means. But he did have a much better series. And Dick is looking quite better. I think Blabber actually could be worth the money. Blabber and Jose are probably worth the money. I just need to look at everything else before I make a decision because it's like... Also, it's hilarious, by the way, that I chose Saint every week. And the 1 week I don't choose him, he did really well. Now, Call Me ints his face off. They have the highest deaths per game, pretty much, or per series. So, Saint is also well worth it this week. The Darkwings can also be well worth it. Dude, there's a lot of good options this week. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I actually don't know. Okay, so for sure, I'm spending on AD. Because Mavoy, Sajed, like FBI, Masu, like both of these can be fine. But I think I would want to pay upwards in the upper half for this, at the very least. In support, God, he is, dude, they are so expensive now. Wow. Wow, they're really expensive. I actually think CEOs, oh man, it's kind of annoying because I think CEOs could be interesting. Because even though I have like my doubts on the team, it is true that the last 2 series he's played, he's done actually pretty well. For all things considered. I mean, they played against Lyon, and they still did pretty well. Yeah. And like, I mean, again, against TL, they also did pretty well. So these are like 2 of the harder ball lanes. I mean, this would be the 3rd one in a row. It's kind of iffy. All right, so I might choose budget here. I'm going to choose Photon. He had a really good week. If he keeps that up, I think he can definitely do some work. So the question is, what is he going to play? Like, he played a huge variety of picks. And it seems like they're going to try to play more off his counter picks. So I think I'm probably going to do Jace. I'm going to do a Photon Jace game. For jungle, like you can pay premium. I can also see a world of picking eXyu, even though I think it's a little dicey. It is a little dicey. I think Dig do not average a ton of kills. But FlyQuest also averages quite a bit of deaths too. Griffin seems pretty tempting. I also thought of choosing one of these 2 just because like Blabber looks so tempting. He looks so tempting. I mean, he's averaging 20 points, which is already rather good. For 4 less points, you can get Hombach. But let's say I choose Blabber. Even though I think eXyu actually might be a really good one, too. So, there's a chance he could play Nidalee because I've seen Nidalee pop up a little bit. But I highly doubt it. There is Olaf as well, which is like really sending it, you know? But there is a reality he could take it. I don't know how likely that is. Like if I go to, let me just push this out. Let's look at... I know it's very slow right now. I mean, it's definitely a role. I mean, I know people have been taking Olaf a little bit, and if it happens, it happens. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do think the 1.3s and the 1.5s are definitely typically safer to do because it's just like such a nice little upside. But I might actually need to do that, especially if you do a budget pick. It's probably better if I do a budget pick to go big. I might change that. For mid, like I said, you need to pay to make this work. I think Palafox has been playing better. I think this is going to just go big. I'm going to pick Saint again, right? Like, literally again. But, I mean, why not? Saint versus Call Me. He's just going to play standard stuff. There's going to be nothing different. Probably Azir is going to be banned. Maybe he gets the prioritized Ahri. They actually might let Ori through. But people are still kind of banning it all the time, aren't they? Like, I know some teams will let it through. Let's see. Ban. First pick. Ban. First pick. I don't know. These teams might still just keep banning it, to be honest. It's probably too much of a gamble, so it's probably better to go to something like Ahri. People don't ban Ahri too often. I could see him playing Syndra maybe, but for now, like I said, we're just going to do something that's stable. For bot lane, I have to pay up as well. I mean, you can do Masu or FBI, like either or, that you kind of want to gamble on. But I kind of want to go into this. So, their bot lane has been doing better than expected. These guys' bot lanes is terrible. So if you pay up for Berserker, it's going to be massive. Like, really massive. And they're definitely top 2 laning bot lane in LCS for sure. Sure. How much do I have left? 30? Oh my lord. Okay, so I'm probably gonna be changing my jungle. Most likely, especially if I'm gonna pay up for Berserker. They are so expensive, by the way. I think for sure Ignite or CEOs is the bet here. And for coach, I'll probably just take Swiffer. So I'm gonna have 18. With 18, I barely don't have enough to get anyone here. Which, to be honest, it actually makes me consider dropping Blabber. I wonder if I have enough to Humbug. Okay, of course I gotta do this. Humbug plays a lot of different stuff as well. He's very much down to... The only thing is... Like, it can work, but... man, I mean, there's a reality that they could get smashed by TL. Dude, I've been eyeing the shit out of this eXyu pick. If I do take him, I have like 30 points left, which gives me... I mean, I can trade up for Morgan and do Morgan over Photon. Because I want to pay up for this. And I probably want to pick Isles. Because I just... Their bot lane is so good, right? Compared to pretty much the worst bot lane in League. So you really want to hammer that in. And Karma is like for the most part, permaban, so like Nami's just like probably a more safer pick to do, especially if it's 1.5. Like it just makes sense to go into that. Ezreal, Nami. I mean, you could like in theory, I could make this quirky. It's quirky word. No, it's not. So I could make this quirky because quirky Nami is like the standard lane that you would choose, right? Saint, safety pick, RE, jungle. If I'm paying up, gives me enough. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know. It's just interesting because if I do eXyu, I do have 10 points to go up to this. Well, I only need 3 points, I guess. So I could do contracts. I think Griffin puts me over, so I don't think I could do him. This is such a gamble. It is such a gamble to choose him. But if I look at my list, I already have so many good players to carry through that it might actually be worth. The only thing is FlyQuest is a laning team as well. That is true. They are a laning team. Hambach, no matter what, gets stuff done. I know that he's a certainty that he's going to do something. He is their main playmaker. So it's me deciding between, do I like the chances of Photon popping off? Or do I want to take Morgan, who can do well, especially against, again, a very bad like laning top laner, which he just gets a couple solo kills, he's off the races, he's going to go big. Dude, I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to do Photon. I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to go Hambach for safety. Even though I think, again, like I said multiple times, I think eXyu could be pretty interesting, but I'm going to do Hambach. I think he needs to be matching. The Pantheon is a very likely ban. Jarvan is a very likely ban as well because he's like towards the top picks. Also, if you're thinking of doing Bard for support pick, just know that he has a ton of priority and he's actually getting consistently banned as well at times, so that might not go through. He could play Mbessa, but I don't know how likely that is. I think I chose Lee for him and he didn't play it. Vi does come through more often. I actually might just choose Vi for him. I think Poppy's also a pretty interesting choice. Because Poppy would make sense for what he typically goes for. He has played Skarner, but like I'm not like the hugest fan of it per se. Is he 2-0 on it? Wait, you tell me all this entire season he's 5-0 on Skarner? Huh. Oh, maybe it is worth it actually. I mean, it's not likely it's gonna get banned. But it is a 1.3. How often has he been picking it? Skarner. I mean, he literally picked it once every single time in the last, like, in all the last 4 series, so screw it. It actually might be worth just choosing Skarner for him. Okay, I think that's the team. I have a surplus for sure, but I think this is the team. Yeah. My recommendation is, it seems like typically overloading on one team does pretty well. Like it was well, who was it? Shopify week 1, FlyQuest week 2, week 3. I'm not sure if there was actually a team guess you can't really do it, right? There was a team in week 3 that like were monsters. Actually, there's a really easy way to tell. Go to LCS, look at the number 1 person. What did they do round 3? TL, C9, TL, Lyon. Oh, they really had enough to do all those players. What? I mean, I did better than this, but like my roster was way more convoluted than just picking literally top players across the board, and that was just enough. I wonder if I'm just overthinking things sometimes. Nah, probably not. Anyways, this is my fantasy selection for the NA rejects. I highly doubt I'm going to catch up to anyone because I'm sure the people at the top are the ones who are just getting like 150 each time. So like I have to pray they hit a bunch of 100-point games or weeks. But since there's only 8 teams, typically choosing the top-ended teams is going to be like the best thing. So they kind of have to make these players even more expensive to make things interesting. So the fact that I can have 3 Lyon players here against probably the weakest team is, their second weakest team is a little OP. Anyways, thanks for watching, and have a good day.